planet together.
And hello, everybody. Welcome in, folks, to Out to Lunch here on WRMN, the voice of the valley and the talk of the town. We are broadcasting live here from Studio 14, serving you, the listeners, in the community. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in today and being a part of the conversation with us. Our phone lines are open today at 847-931-1410. I'm your host, Matt McNeil, taking you into this 11 o'clock hour, as well as our 12 o'clock hour here on your trusted local radio station for news, talk, and entertainment in the Fox River Valley area. So thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in today. You can find us on our YouTube channel as well, youtube.com/WRMN radio. And if you want to hit that subscribe button and click that notification bell, you can always keep yourself up to date and in the loop with what is going on. Now, I've been announcing this, and per many requests out there, we are back again here having Mayor Dave Kaptain on with us here on the second and fourth Thursdays of the month at the 11 o'clock hour. This is a great opportunity for you to tune in and to know a recap of the Committee of the Whole and regular City Council meetings and what is going on, what happened, especially if you weren't able to attend. Now, don't forget also, too, that you can find their videos posted on their YouTube channel. There's also a link directly through their website. That is at elginvideo.cityofelgin.org for more information. So please feel free to take a look at that. But we want to warmly welcome Mayor Dave Kaptain here in the station today. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing well, Matt. How are you?
Very good. Thank you so much. You look all nice and cozy.
Oh, I try to be.
Yes.
That's that kind of weather.
Very good. Very good. So yesterday was the meeting, and I know that it started at 6 p.m. Is that correct?
Correct. Yes.
And of course, these meetings do happen. They're twice a month, every second and fourth Wednesday.
That's correct.
And anyone can attend. And it's located at the City Hall at 150 Dexter Court. I spent a good amount of my childhood there because my mom was a planner back in the day. And she worked there, and she worked with city manager Rick Kozel as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember him as a kid as well too, and the place has not changed. So I get a lot of nostalgia when I walk in there. So
That's
very,
been
very good.
that's one of my stories, you know. And I said, but sometimes what goes around comes around. I started out at the bottom of City Hall when I was in high school. I was a laborer in my early years in college, and one of the jobs I was on was working at the City Hall when that was going to be constructed.
Oh, that's cool.
And
That's really
so I
neat.
worked in the basement, and
Wow.
I said, here I am back. But I said at a different level, but I
Wow.
said that's been just part of being a lifetime resident of Elgin.
I love that. What a cool story, too.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Well, I wanted to start off here, of course, just giving you a little recap, or Mayor, if you could give us a little recap here. Anything that are important in terms of maybe some key decisions and votes in the most recent city council meeting. So, any, kind of significant decisions that might have come to play. And we'll go through the list, too, on those specific topics. But
Yeah.
Let us know how you wanted to start off with this.
Yeah, Matt, I think a good way to do this is since this is the first time we're together, and the first show is to talk about how the city council process works,
Okay.
and what happens for a city council meeting. And as you said, they start at 6 o'clock, and that's the committee of the whole meeting. And the committee of the whole is where the city council sits down and really has a discussion of issues that are out there, and things are presented to us from staff that need to be addressed. It's an opportunity for council to share ideas, and there's two ways that these things we move them forward. We have a vote for some things. Some things we come are on both agendas. That means they have to be expedited for that evening. So we have a discussion at the committee of the whole meeting, and then we will vote on those to move them forward at the regular council meeting in an hour and a half. And that gets them done so they can be completed in the next 2 weeks. Now, the committee of the whole meeting would allow us to share ideas, share thoughts, and come up with a plan to move an idea forward. And if there's a split discussion on that, it will go to the next council meeting in 2 weeks, and then come back. It would be a final discussion where we might clean up our ideas, put it together where it'll finally move on. If there's total agreement, and we have some of those tonight, they will go automatically to the consent agenda in 2 weeks. So that means that some of the things we're going to talk about, and I'll go with the first one on our list, was the redevelopment of 61 to 65 South Grove Avenue. And it was a unanimous decision to put it forward, provide some funding from the TIF, downtown TIF. So that will go to the consent agenda in 2 weeks. That will allow the developer, his process can be started in 2 weeks.
Okay.
If it's not unanimous, it would have another day of discussion. So that would extend it out a couple weeks. So the regular council meeting is the final. We make a decision, then this is going to become a law, or it's going to become funding from us. We pay our bills at the regular council meeting. We have all the regular bill paying that we have to do, and as part of the regular council meeting is the consent agenda, and the consent agenda is all the things that we've passed over the past couple weeks, and they will. That means that they're finalized, and now I sign any documents that have to be signed, and it makes it legal to move on. The other thing that's part of the city council meeting, and many people don't pay much attention to it, it's mostly council work. At the end, it's called miscellaneous business, and the miscellaneous business is pretty important. Many council members, we spend some time on that. It gives us summaries of commission meetings, so we know what's happened in the past month for commission meetings, gives us their minutes, the decisions that were made, and gives us a little view as to what they've done, and it also looks at the money that was spent. So I go through and look at the money that was spent by the city. We have people at every level have ability to go out and spend money, and we can go and review that. So it's a way for us to look at what's going on in the city, and I think it's very seldom is talked about unless there are some issues that we bring up. Consent agenda is something that if somebody has a second thought, for example, on something that was passed at the regular council meeting, the consent agenda will give them an opportunity to pull that one item out and have further discussion on it.
Okay.
But after that, it's law and it's done. So that's kind of how the process works. So when we talk about these things and those terms come up, I think it's important for city to understand how people understand how this process works.
Very good. Absolutely. I'll definitely in time look through it more too
Yeah.
to familiarize myself as well.
And it's, and staff puts a lot of initiatives forward to us. They do the research and they'll provide us some of the paperwork that we work with. And I'll have that for us to talk about today.
Awesome. Very good. So we'll start off here with the initiatives and other items. You talked about 61 South Grove. There's going to be that redevelopment agreement. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, that was, it's for a mixed use development. The property is for those people that drive down Grove Avenue, it's the one that's got the supports holding the facade up. And the building has been vacant for a number of years and needed repair. It had a couple of roof failures, but the plan is to put in some retail on the first floor. There's going to be some apartments on the second floor, and potentially some office space. And they applied for assistance from the city. The developer applied for assistance from the city. The group that's doing it is the South Grove Holdings Corporation, and they're going to do the rehab. Total cost is going to be over $5 million. So they've asked the city for about $1.8 million in assistance from the TIF. And we'll do some things with them. We'll do some fast tracking and some permits to help them get the process going. But it allows them now Once they get the TIF funding, that's a big leg up for them. They can go out and start looking to apply for grants. It's a historic building, and there are a lot of moving parts that are going to have to take place with this. A lot of reconstruction work are going to have to be done to bring the building up to ADA compliance, accessibility for people, improvements that need to be made for. If we obviously going to put apartments and residential in, there are going to be some remodeling that has to be done, but it's going to be a great project when it's finished. So that's part of the downtown redevelopment, and that's been the direction the city's taken for the last 20 some years, is bringing more residential to the downtown and make it more of a 24/7 type of environment.
Very good.
And just as a side note, I think
Mhm.
that it's important. I've had discussions in the past when I became mayor. I talked about the community and how people lived, and I said that people needed to live closer to where they work.
Mhm.
And it's a good environmentally, it's good for sustainability, it's good for businesses. And the Northwest Industrial Park on Randall Road, up where oh, let's see, what's the burnt toast and those types of restaurants
Mhm.
are up there, um, are we're kind of struggling at that time. It was a large industrial site,
Mhm.
and the developer came to see me the week after I got elected and said, "Did I mean what I said?" I said, "Yeah, I think it's important that people can live where they work." He said, "Well, I'd like to build an apartment complex."
Okay.
So our efforts in downtown spurred similar types of developments out there. And that's kind of the trend that we're working towards now, is to create areas where they become small town centers where people can live, they can go have a meal and enjoy themselves. And it took almost a decade, but the developer out there built an apartment complex. I think there are about 250 apartments in there, and that was the first of its kind
Mhm.
along Randall Road. And people thought that, well, Randall Road should be all commercial, and
Okay.
it's changed the way other communities looked at it. So
Yep.
Elgin kind of took a lead and said that we see and we understand about our downtown, and how that's been a little successful for us. So that spurred similar types of development around our city. That's good for everybody.
Absolutely. And it all comes in back into the community as well, especially when you live close to close to where you work, and so that's always important as well too.
Yeah, and I think that's part of the well, right next door to the studio here is the Tower Building.
Mhm.
That was a big redevelopment, and the idea there was, well, how can it be better than this? People live and they can walk 1 block and get on the Metra and go into Chicago if they work in Chicago,
Mhm.
and they can commute. So it creates kind of a urban type environment in the small town, and a commuter type environment at the same time. I think we're going to see that probably spread as we grow a little bit more out to the west. That we're going to add those town centers and create a little sense of community. I think that was something that we've lost in the last 20 or 30 years for those types of
Mhm.
developments. We kind of took the community part away, and we have to put that back.
Absolutely. Let's talk a little bit about the Channing Park improvements. There's some design and engineering services with Upland Design as
Yeah.
well.
Yes.
If you want to talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, there's going to be some. That was something that's engineering costs for us, and that's the preliminary work that goes into these things. That was about $190,000, and it will allow them to go in and look at replacing some of the playground equipment. And if I remember correctly, we talked about this a few years ago. Many of our playgrounds had started to get a little long in the tooth, and
Mhm.
they were 20. The playground equipment got to be 20, 25 years old and has to start to be replaced. And Greg Hulke, who's spearheads a lot of these and makes these choices for the Parks Department, told me, Dave, we said each one of these is going to be $1 million. So that's been pretty close to what we're seeing as a cost to go back and redo these. Some of them have to be upgraded for ADA requirements. There are
Mhm.
new technologies. Some of the things, the bouncy surfaces that are in there are important. And so there's been some changes, and it's just a matter of keeping up. And Channing Park is one of those parks. So it's going to be a good thing for that neighborhood, and close to the school as well. So
Mhm.
it's going to be a good advantage for that neighborhood and neighborhood parks. And as part of Elgin's history, The plan was, always the long-term plan was that every home would be within a half mile of a park. So
Very
it's still something that we strive for and try to do that. But I think as we got, when they probably did that, most people were pedestrian
good.
and more pedestrian than they are now. So it was a lot more difficult to drive someplace. But we are seeing some major redevelopments and some major projects. One that's probably worth touching on now is it's coming to completion, and we had that discussion a little bit last night with the sports complex.
Oh,
It's over
yes.
a $20 million improvement,
Hmm.
and there was some road work to be done with that, so it ties into a lot of things in the southwest neighborhood, and the traffic control for people moving in and out of the sports complex, and for used to be one exit onto McLean, now there's going to be an exit onto State Street, and that'll make traffic flow a little bit easier.
Hmm.
But that $20 million project we got funding from a number of sources to do that. But it's going to be opening up this year, and I think my understanding is it's just about ready to go. And that's been a project that went on for most of last summer, and a property that the city owns. Again, that's a major project that's taking place in Elgin.
Very good. I know I live in Central Oaks West, and I know a couple years ago they recently did our park as well too.
Yeah,
And I've noticed an influx of more people going to the park than before, and so that's something that helped to improve. And I know less than a mile away, of course, is Central Oaks West. There's Creekside School, so there's a lot of schools around that area too.
sure. And that's you touch on something else. And I just did some couple presentations that I do for community groups and the State of the City address. And one of the things that we're starting to see a lot is reinvestment.
Hmm.
And one of the reinvestments is reconstruction of Century Oak School. And
Okay.
there's going to be some work there. And there's going to be new schools up on Grove Avenue. Um, a new school is planned for that. And a new high school, we'll have a ribbon cutting coming up for, or a groundbreaking, I should say. It's not a ribbon cutting, but a groundbreaking out at Larkin High School for the new football stadium. So a lot of work going on in
Hmm.
Elgin. And it's, again, some of these things are, um, schools are starting to get old and they have to be replaced and upgraded. And it's all part of living in a city.
Absolutely.
So,
I know that there's also another design project that's at the City Hall parking lot as well.
yeah, and that was really a good thing for discussion. We had a number of things, and I guess we call them environmental projects, and this was one. We got some money from the EPA, and to do it's a sustainable parking lot. Going to be very, I guess, cutting edge. It's been again, that's something that had to be replaced. Going to be permeable pavers. Going to be a good stormwater control. There's going to be charging stations there for electric vehicles,
Hmm.
and it's just bringing it up to speed for us. And again, these are just beginning the engineering costs and the design for that. That's the first step. A little over $100,000 for engineering costs, and then we'll come back with final design numbers from the engineers and cost estimates, and we'll go from there. But that's another thing that has to be redone. And again, those things cause a little bit of a dent, and that's where I'm parked right now, is over by that parking lot.
Yep.
So it's going to cause a little bit of discomfort for a while, but it's going to be really a good project when it's finished.
Definitely. And I know right now we have, I do believe it's 2 charging stations over at the free parking.
Yes.
So we will be adding to that with the City Hall parking.
Yes, they're
Okay.
going to start adding. We're adding parking stations and parking stations around on city property. Just out at the Bowes Creek Country Club, There's some charging stations out there, so you're going to see them popping up around. And those technologies are becoming more and more efficient for people, and ways for the city to put in something, and a convenience with the electric vehicles that are becoming more prevalent.
Hmm. Absolutely. And then finally, there's another one here. There's some various West Side Streets resurfacing projects. If
Yeah.
you wanted to talk a little bit about that with
Yeah,
us.
and those are we've got a lot of things in the fire here the last couple months. Projects that we do, and some of these things take a long time. A few probably back in December, I believe we had um, we're looking at getting some funding from a mayor's caucus for some street resurfacing projects. So we start to apply for funding for these things, and hopefully we can receive funding, and maybe they'll be added to the agenda this year. But these are projects now that we're funding and going to move forward with, again, design engineering. And I'll list the streets, and I want people to know where they're at. And it's always nice to know your street's going to be done. Some of these will include Todd Farm Drive, Todd Farm Court, Countryside Drive, Brayburn Drive, Lawrence Avenue, Heine Avenue, Triggs, Sex Hour. Those are in areas just off of McLean near Kimball, Hoxie, South Lyle Avenue, Maple Street, 2nd Street, Erie Street, Mosley Street, and Oak Street are all scheduled for some resurfacing, and they're going to be pavement. They're going to be milled, and so it's a grind off and a application of blacktop. And it's the least invasive of things. It is invasive, but when you do a major project, a major street project, and we have to go in and dig up sewer lines, curbs and gutters, those types of things, that's a major project. But those are things that we have on a schedule, and I think it's important. One of the important things that we're running into, and I'll kind of go off track just a little bit here, is the lead service lines. We've talked to staff about this, but the lead service lines are causing a change in our schedule for doing these streets. The lead service lines have to be done in a very short period of time. 7 years, we've been given a time limit by the federal government to get the lead service lines removed. And as part of that, they have to dig some of the streets up, a piece of the street. Well, typically our streets might last 20 years or 25 years. And we have them on a schedule. The Public Works does a great job of making sure that we rotate and move around and take care of the streets that are in some trouble. But now we have to go back, and we may be digging up streets that have not been in there that long, and less than 10 years. So it's going to cause some disruptions. It's also going to cause some added costs. And right now we have, for people that haven't become aware of this, it's been in the press and in discussion for many, many years, over 5 years now since COVID. And we have we have started out with a little over 12,000 lead service lines, more than anybody in the state of Illinois except the city of Chicago. And we have to replace all of those, and we started to do them at about 1,000 a year. The cost for us is about $14 million a year. Okay. And it's we borrow some, we have grants for some, but those are things that we're doing. We're doing complete replacement at no cost to the homeowner, but they do cause some disruptions in the neighborhood. We have to do street dig ups and things like that. So it's all part of this this construction, and we're starting the construction season very soon. And if the weather breaks here, and we'll be going out and doing some street work and working with the state of Illinois and Kane County to make it as hopefully as seamless as possible. But it's going to be going to be challenging for us.
Well, there you go, folks. We're going to take a quick time out, and we'll be back with more here on this segment with Mayor Dave Kaptain here on WRMN AM 1410. Broadcasting live here from Studio 14, serving you, the Fox River Valley area and Elgin. Thank you so much for tuning in today, and we'll be back with more in just a little bit.
With your news flash, I'm Ryan Gatenby, brought to you by Rain-X. A new Moody's Analytics report says Illinois' economy is expected to underperform both the Midwest and the nation in the coming year. The forecast projects flat job growth and slower gains in state product and income, citing pension debt and a shrinking tax base. Illinois lawmakers have introduced the Power Act, which would require large data centers to cover their own energy costs. The proposal aims to protect consumers from higher utility bills and require operators to disclose water usage while adding environmental safeguards for communities. A federal judge has upheld an Illinois law banning interchange fees on the tax and tip portions of credit and debit card transactions. Retail leaders say the ruling will save businesses and consumers millions each year. Banking groups that challenge the law say they plan to appeal. I'm Ryan Gatenby with your news flash.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
If you're only good to your new friends, you're not going to have any old ones. Straight Talk gets it. That's why new and existing customers get free 5G phones on Verizon's 5G network. Pretty simple, really. You keep good people by being good people.
Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Taxes and fees apply. Plan purchase required for free phone offers. Copyright 2026 Verizon.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. After my husband died, the last thing I wanted to think about was money. Ethos made it affordable to get life insurance. Signing up was fast and 100% online. I knew that I could pay our mortgage and have food in the fridge. I could focus on my kids. No one ever tells you how much you're going to depend on that policy. I am so grateful we had coverage.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/save. That's ethos.com/save. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Since 1960, Fox Valley Fire and Safety has been dedicated to caring for our customers and protecting our community. What began in a family basement with just 2 employees has grown into a team of more than 300, supported by nearly 200 service vehicles. But our mission has never changed. We're here to keep the people and businesses we serve safe. Our service technicians are available 24/7, 365 days a year across Northern Illinois because your safety can't wait. To learn more, visit foxvalleyfire.com or call 847-695-5990. A proud member of the Elgin Area Chamber of Commerce, supporting the local business community.
This is Sarah Silver with your Fox Valley forecast, brought to you by KFC. Today, partly sunny with a high near 42. This afternoon, temperatures around 39, leading to a cooler evening. Tonight, mostly clear with a low around 26. Looking ahead to Friday, sunny with a high near 50. Friday night brings mostly clear skies with a low around 30. Currently, it's 36 and overcast. I'm Sarah Silver on the Talk of the Town, WRMN.
A KFC tale in the pursuit of flavor. The Colonel made his $10 Tuesday bucket so full with 8 pieces of juicy, crispy chicken or tenders that it might just last you till Wednesday. If you've got that kind of self-control. I mean, some people want leftovers. Others are more into right nowers. The Colonel lived so we could chicken. $10, 8 pieces, one big deal with KFC $10 Tuesdays.
Prices and participation may vary. Taxes, tips, and fees extra.
And welcome back, folks, to Out to Lunch here on WRMN. We are doing a recap of some of the agendas here from the Committee of the Whole and regular City Council meeting that was yesterday, February 11th at City Hall at 150 Dexter Court. So thank you so much to Mayor Dave Kaptain for coming into the station today.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. We got a very good question, call off the air from a lovely lady. I know who she was. She asked a question here. She is from Edgewater, and she was curious if Edgewater is going to be tested for lead, and if you want to respond to that.
We do lead testing. The city's required to do lead testing on virtually every neighborhood within the city, and there's a random way to do it, and but the focus is really in areas that are when we do lead testing, there are areas that would be most likely to have lead, and Edgewater is not one of those.
Okay.
Any home built after 1988 is pretty safe, and there are issues if you have copper lines where they may have used lead solder, and that's not common anymore. But generally, it's safe. And for people in Edgewater, I'll be honest, because I'm in that age group, that at your age and those people that live out there, it's not going to be a hazard to you. It's really a hazard for young people and for children, and that's where the major concern is at. The lead lines that we're taking out are really the supply lines that come from the street into the house, but in Edgewater, that's not going to be an issue.
Okay. We wanted to talk a little bit here about the Randall Point West subdivision. There is an acceptance for some public improvements.
Yeah, and we do these on occasionally. They come in, and it's a project that's been done. Um, it's an obligation the city has to fulfill infrastructure that's been done in the past. And we've accepted infrastructure, certain things for maybe electric or maybe sewer lines or maybe easements and things like that. It's routinely done when a project is built, and we accept the sidewalks, or we accept that the streets have to be taken care of by the city of Elgin, and we accept them as a part of our community, and they're turned over by the developers to the city, and we accept them as completed, and we move on then, and they become a part of our permanent record.
Okay. So that's the Randall Point West subdivision. Estimated, that's about a 5-year maintenance cost, it says.
Correct.
We also have another one here, Tall Oaks Unit 3 subdivision. So there's also acceptance for public improvements there as well.
It's the same thing. It's public streets and those types of things, and we street lights may be part of it. It depends on the contract with the developer, but it allows the developer then to close out his development. The city takes ownership.
Okay. Now, when you implement, say, like street lamps, like you said, they have to make sure that the measurements are correct with the sidewalk and the street, and all of those precautions are taken into consideration.
You know, that's one thing that it's worth talking about. We have some developments that have been put in that the developer, as part of the development agreement, agreed to maintain the streets, and they may have a homeowners association that charges a fee for those things. That they would maintain the lawn, they maintain the sidewalk, and we get asked a lot. It comes back, and people bring it up. They move in there, and they say, "Well, why do I have to pay a homeowner's fee, and we have to pay to plow our own streets?" Well, that was the agreement, and when that was the development was built, and many of the streets, and those are maybe too narrow for our city equipment to deal with now, and there are ways that it can be done, that the city can take those over, but that usually means there's another added fee that would go back to those homeowners. And so it's always a discussion, and the answer is always the same, that was the agreement that they made when the development was built. And apartment buildings, they want private streets, for example, and that allows them to have private streets.
Good. And then finally, here we have another one, and I know that this has been one that people have discussed before about retailer single-use bag ordinance. If you want to elaborate more on this.
Sure, that'll take a lot of elaboration because that's been around for about a decade, and the discussion's been up and down. It's come to the council a couple times for review. Been sent back to staff and back to a sustainability commission a couple times for fine tuning. It's very controversial. We just did a citizen survey, a city survey, and let me check my notes here. So I want to make sure that we get this. That a survey around the city to look for what people felt about the bag ordinance, and 57% were opposed and 38% supported a plastic bag ordinance. And the concept is that plastic bags create an environmental hazard because of the plastic that goes in them, the chemical nature of them, and they also become a nuisance when they're left blowing around and end up in trees and as a waste. There are ways to dispose of them if you can recycle them. Certain places have, Jewel, for example, has a place that you can deposit the used bags and they can recycle them. People use them in the home for kitty litter. Those are the discussions that we started to have. And it was on the agenda last night. And because of some scheduling issues, I'll put it kindly and put it that way, the last month or two on some major matters for discussion. This was placed on the agenda for last night. And because it was originally scheduled for the end of the month, it kind of disrupted the discussion, because some of the people that are going to be impacted the most, which are the retailers, had scheduled it to be on for their plans for the end of the month, and we moved it up 2 weeks, and it caused a disruption. So the council voted last night 6-3 to delay the real discussion on the bag ordinance until the next meeting on the 25th.
Okay.
So that's when it'll take place. But it's been controversial for a number of years. The issues are still there. We look at it from a short term, long term. How's it going to impact retailers in the city? And many of them are grocery stores, obviously. For large ones, Walmart is one. Target, Blaine's are those types of the large retailers are going to be impacted. And it's our obligation as a city council to listen to both sides. And at the end of the discussion, it's up to us to make what we think is the best decision. I've been doing this for 14 years now, and I always try to make the best decision for the entire community. And certain times there are things that are not popular. Not popular with certain segment of the population, but for the good of the community, we have to make that decision, and that's what city council's for. And this will be one of those. I'm sure it's going to be a controversial discussion. And the concept here is that for plastic bags, are going to be banned from these stores, so they're going to have to come up with a replacement bag, and that would be paper or something along those lines. And the cost would be, we allow a cost of 10 cents as a minimum, so that people have to pay to do something to do this, to move on. But the goal would be to get them to carry a bag and carry bags into the store that they could be reused. And for environmental purposes, it's the best solution to do that. And I think that there's got to be some education process to go out to this. And cost estimate for that is pretty minimal for the city. It's $18,000. When the first proposal came to the city, there was would be a share for the city would take a portion of the money that the retailer collected, and I totally object to that. And it's not about making money. This is about an environmental issue. If you want to do an environmental issue, let it be that. So the money is going to go back to the retailers, and they hopefully can recoup some of their costs and make it a little bit less painful for them. But it's certainly about an education process and for us to move on environmentally. And that'll be the discussion the council has, and looking forward to that in 2 weeks.
That'll be coming up in 2 weeks. And then do you think too, possibly with the ordinance, do you think that there'll be more of accessibility to bags for people to purchase, so that they can go and not have to purchase the 10-cent bags? They can bring their own bags. Will there be more
Absolutely.
in store?
And
Like that?
there was a group that gave out a free bag to the city council last night. And, there's been efforts along those lines for a number of years. I know Woodman's sells bags, reusable bags. I think they're $1. I believe there's something down at Walmart for 85 cents. And, you can look at it from a number of ways. And that if they can get a little advertising, if the name of their business is on the bag, they get some advertising. And it's a matter of, Council Member Powell always has talked about it, that she has bags in her car, and then she gets into the store and she forgets the bags. So now I got to walk all the way back out, or do I take the plastic bags? But that'll become a habit after a while. And I'll be honest, my wife and I have carried bags for a number of years. And I'm not saying I'm a proponent or in opposition to it, but it's part of what we've done with ours. And we've worn bags out, but they should be washable, and they're made from, many of them are made from recyclable material and recycled plastic. And So it's a way to cut down on that plastic. To kind of go follow that along a little bit, we're finding that we're just scratching the surface. As many people know, my previous professional life was as a chemist and working with water and wastewater, and the plastic and the microplastics that are becoming pretty much ubiquitous, and they're virtually everywhere in our environment now, are becoming a hazard to us. And I think we're just barely beginning to gain the knowledge as to what the impact is on us. But they're in our bodies, they're in our environment, and we may have to make some, over the next a couple decades, we may have to make some really drastic changes in order to get those removed from the environment. And I think that's something we're going to have to deal with as a society.
Yeah. So it's definitely good to keep in tune with that. So that'll be at the next council meeting. And I know that if anyone has any questions, I know that you do offer write-in concerns as well too. Is that correct at the meetings?
Sure. Yes, you have an opportunity. There are a couple opportunities there to talk about either in the public comment period. You can either email something in, or you can you can email something in, or you can come and speak to the city council. You get up to 3 minutes to do that, and it's a chance to get your 2 cents into the discussion. And I really like to make sure that everybody gets an opportunity to speak. That's part of my job as mayor, to make sure everybody gets their chance to speak and voice their opinion. And that's why we've voted, the council majority voted to delay this discussion to allow the people that are going to be impacted the most, and those are the retailers, to come and express themselves as well.
Very good. If you're watching on YouTube, you saw us waving. We were waving at Tony Lusenko.
Yeah.
The
And
Elgin
Tony
area
was at
leader.
the council
Yep.
meeting last night, and he's been working on this for the last 2 or 3 years. So he's got a lot invested in this, and it's about getting the information out to the retailers to do that. And I'll tell you this: they did a little video last night. That's not part of the documents that were available online, but there were 42 retailers that were. Have to dig my way through my
Oh, you're
papers here. Bear with me. The 42 retailers that were contacted
Mhm.
and were found to be impacted, potentially impacted by this. And the names are Walgreens and Walmart, Target, Russo Power, Butera, Aldi. And one of the things that's been brought up a number of times is, well, there are people that have done this without plastic bags, and Aldi's is one.
Mhm.
They don't use plastic bags, and they have boxes, and they've been that's been their business model. And the other one is Sam's. They provide boxes. If you want boxes, you can bring your own bags, but they do not provide bags. So there are ways to do it. It becomes a little bit inconvenient, but people learn. And is that something that other people will adapt, and if they have to? But the issue becomes, does it put some businesses to an economic disadvantage over our neighboring communities or our own, even businesses within the city? Do they have? Is it going to be a little bit more costly to them? But that's something we're going to listen to, and the council will have to work their way through that.
Absolutely. We still have about 10 minutes left, roughly 9-10 minutes left. So I wanted to move on to talk about the proclamations that you
Yeah.
made. We'll start off here in the order. You made a proclamation to the Health and Healing Awareness.
Yes, and that was through the Human Relations Commission in the city of Elgin. Winfried Cooper, former chairman, did a really great job accepting that, and talked about it. It's a talk about mental wellness and mental health, and the challenges that people face with that type of condition. And Winfried talked about his challenge and his struggles with autism. So it talks about what's about mental awareness. It's about talking. He said he was stunned that how many organizations there are in Elgin that can provide assistance to people that have mental challenges. And but he said he was also stunned that there were many people that didn't know they were there.
Hmm.
So that's part of it, and it's about it's about awareness for this for the month of February, and I think that is part of what a proclamation's about. It brings out awareness. It doesn't necessarily solve the problem, but it makes it more aware for the community and to understand and have a little bit more awareness that there are people that are challenged. And I'll touch. I'll Matt, you're going to have to bear with me sometimes as we go
Okay.
on with this.
Hmm.
That when I have something now, it spurs something else in my mind.
Yeah. Hmm.
And one of the things that we've started to do in Elgin is provide affordable housing for people that have challenges.
Okay.
And one of those is mental illness. And last year, or a couple of years, there was a couple of developments that came to Elgin that provide affordable housing and assisted housing for people that have both learning disabilities and mental illness. One is Hanover Landing out on Chicago Street. There's 50 apartments there for people that have some mental illness issues, and they're received government funding. Hanover Township was instrumental in bringing that to Elgin and created a safe environment for people that they're going to be there. Ecker is as a presence on that site.
Hmm.
AID built a Wildwood Commons down on Route 31, right near the state police, between the state police building and the um, driver's license.
Hmm.
And there are going to be a couple of projects down there for people that have learning disabilities and may have Down syndrome.
Hmm.
So those types of things become mental awareness, and through that mental awareness from as a society, that's how we provide housing for those people and the assistance that they need. So that's a good thing for us.
Absolutely. That's wonderful. And then
Sec-
you've also got Sunshine's Cupcakery Black History Month proclamation.
Right, they were designated as the Black Business of the Year, and became part of the Black History Month, and a very eloquent acceptance from the owners of Sunshine Cupcake about her struggle and how to become a small businessman
Hmm.
as a minority person
Hmm.
and as a minority, and what it took for her to do that, and became a dream for her. And she came from a family that was challenged, and has struggled along and become a business owner in the city of Elgin, and makes us proud to be able to do that for people. And that's one of the things that we work hard at, is providing a starting point and a place for people to start a small business and step up and hopefully grow into something that maybe becomes a national chain. It
Yeah.
catches on and becomes something that's popular. So it's very nice for that, and it's a good way to kick off Black History Month and the number of things that are going on in the city of Elgin for the month. And check the city's website and check Gail Borden Library's website for those events and discussions that are going to happen. And started out with the MLK breakfast back in January. So.
Yep. I had them. I had the coordinators on the air to talk about that.
Yeah.
Yep.
So there are a lot of things going on, and that's
Mhm.
always something for everybody that spurs your interest.
Absolutely.
One thing again that we've started to talk about. There's James Harvey and the at the MLK breakfast. We've had something I found. There's a gentleman in Elgin. His name's Raleigh Sutton. Raleigh's a writer, and it'll kind of segue into the last proclamation a little bit.
Mhm.
Raleigh Sutton has written a number of books and articles on Black history, and one of those he identified a number of African American Civil War veterans, and
Mhm.
there's an effort now to try to recognize those. I passed some of the information that Raleigh gave me on to Janice Hare from the MLK committee, and to do a memorial. There are a number of for Kane County to recognize them and their service during the Civil War, and create a memorial so those people are not forgotten, and
Yep.
their contributions to the United States are not forgotten.
Absolutely. And then finally, of course, the George Rawlinson proclamation as well. If you
Yeah,
want to talk
and
about that.
I've known knew George for a long time. He was
Mhm.
I always talk about people and what what do you think about him? And the best thing I can say about George, he was a nice guy.
Oh, yes.
George was a nice man,
Yeah.
and that's about the highest compliment I can play to somebody. He led a life that he wanted to live, gave back to his community, and whenever you talk to George, had a smile on his face, was always happy to see you, and he's a nice man. And a well-known author in Elgin, and a writer, very talented writer, ran his own publication business, and gave back to the community that he loved, and lived a good life, and going to be missed in the city.
He will, yes, definitely. Something that really stood out to me about George, too, is I had mentioned it maybe once or twice on the air that my mother was going through some health troubles, and he heard it, and every time after that, he'd always say, "How's your mother doing?" He never met my mother before, so that was always something that really stood out to me about George as well. And we're having an upcoming event that's February 18th, starting at 5 o'clock. It's a celebration of life for George Rawlinson. That's going to be at the 820 North Liberty Street, American Legion, Post 57. And so we encourage you come on out and celebrate the life of George.
Yeah. One last story about George. He wrote a book on Garfield School. And
Okay.
I went to Garfield grade school, and George interviewed me as a student.
Oh, wow.
And talked about what it was like when I was there. And it was interesting. My father went there. My sister went. My whole family went to Garfield School. And we talked about community and how education had changed. And one of the questions that George asked me, he said, he heard my comment, one of the most influential people in my life was my sixth grade teacher. And she introduced me into ecology and environment and fossils, and spurred an interest. And I said, look where it took me. And so those are the kind of things. What does your grade school mean to you? It means a lot.
Yeah.
It means a lot to a young person.
I love that. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, again, we've only got about a minute and a half left. I thank you so much for joining us. Is there anything else that you wanted to recap? I know there was something else too, and we only have so much time. It was, oh my goodness. I know it was about the bridge. You want to talk
Yeah,
about
we
that?
have
Yes.
some bridge construction coming up, and we'll look forward to. We only have a minute and a half, but we're starting to talk about the reconstruction of Kimball Street Bridge, and there are going to be some traffic issues in the city, and we'll have plenty of time to talk about those as time goes on. But the city will start providing plans for alternative traffic routes. We'll be trying to educate the community on those to happen. And I said, I just did a thing for the neighborhood watch groups the other night, and told them one of the things I fear as mayor the most are bridge reconstructions, and we're going to have a passel of them here. The Route 20 bridge over the Fox River. We're going to have Kimball Street Bridge. In the future, it's going to be the Chicago Street Bridge. We're going to do a little upgrade on the National Street Bridge to help extend that life. So those are projects that are going to be ongoing in the city of Elgin here in the next few years. So buckle up, and let's prepare for some construction holiday seasons, I guess.
Well, Mayor Dave Kaptain, thanks so much for joining us today and agreeing to come on twice a month with us here. I think it's so good for the city of Elgin and the community to know what's going on too. So
And
I
it's
appreciate it.
very important for us to make sure that the facts get out to people, and that the city provides a conduit of communication, and this is part of that conduit.
Absolutely.
So happy to do it.
Absolutely.
Your kids could get free or low-cost health coverage from Medicaid or CHIP. Even if you've applied before, they may be eligible now. Kids up to age 19 are covered for checkups, vaccines, dentist visits, hospital care, and more. And if they already have Medicaid or CHIP, remember to renew every year. Visit insurekidsnow.gov or call 877-KIDS-NOW. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
When I never graduated from high school, I realized I wanted to go back to school because I didn't want to work these back-breaking jobs the rest of my life. With the help of my father and having my son, that was all the motivation that I needed to come back to school. I felt accomplished, made me feel that I could take on whatever challenges life throws at you.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Your hometown radio station since 1949. We are WRMN AM 1410, Elgin time, 12 o'clock.
With your news flash, I'm Ryan Gatenby. Brought to you by RainX. Illinois lawmakers have introduced the Power Act, which would require large data centers to cover their own energy costs. The proposal aims to protect consumers from higher utility bills and require operators to disclose water usage while adding environmental safeguards for communities. A federal judge has upheld an Illinois law banning interchange fees on the tax and tip portions of credit and debit card transactions. Retail leaders say the ruling will save businesses and consumers millions each year. Banking groups that challenge the law say they plan to appeal. A new Moody's Analytics report says Illinois' economy is expected to underperform both the Midwest and the nation in the coming year. The forecast projects flat job growth and slower gains in state product and income, citing pension debt and a shrinking tax base. I'm Ryan Gatenby with your news flash.
Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just one shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
With Fidelity Wealth Management, a dedicated advisor gets to know you and your goals to build a comprehensive plan to help grow.
With your news
and
flash,
protect you.
I'm Ryan Gatenby. Brought to you by RainX. A federal judge has upheld an Illinois law banning interchange fees on the tax and tip portions of credit and debit card transactions. Retail leaders say the ruling will save businesses and consumers millions each year. Banking groups that challenge the law say they plan to appeal. A new Moody's Analytics report says Illinois' economy is expected to underperform both the Midwest and the nation in the coming year. The forecast projects flat job growth and slower gains in state product and income, citing pension debt and a shrinking tax base. Illinois lawmakers have introduced the Power Act, which would require large data centers to cover their own energy costs. The proposal aims to protect consumers from higher utility bills and require operators to disclose water usage while adding environmental safeguards for communities. I'm Ryan Gatenby with your news flash.
A KFC tale in the pursuit of flavor. The Colonel despised the word empty. Empty plates, empty tables, empty stomachs. That's why he made the KFC $5 bowls, like the famous bowl. Creamy mashed potatoes, crispy chicken, corn, gravy, and cheese. Because the only empty the Colonel liked was when you reached the bottom of that bowl. The Colonel lived so we could chicken. 5 KFC bowls for just $5 each.
Prices and participation may vary. Taxes, tips, and fees extra.
Meet Matthew Preston. Inside his apartment, everything he holds dear is protected by Progressive's Renter's Insurance, like his laptop and a surprisingly valuable collection of baseball bobbleheads. Outside his apartment, his laptop is still protected, as are his bobbleheads, which he carries around with him for reasons no one knows. Renters, the limits of protection aren't just the 4 walls of your home. When you're in Progressive's Protection Zone, get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliate.
This is Sarah Silver with your Fox Valley forecast, brought to you by KFC. Today, partly sunny with a high near 42. This afternoon, temperatures around 39, leading to a cooler evening. Tonight, mostly clear with a low around 26. Looking ahead to Friday, sunny with a high near 50. Friday night brings mostly clear skies with a low around 30. Currently, it's 36 and overcast. I'm Sarah Silver on the Talk of the Town, WRMN.
A KFC tale in the pursuit of flavor. The Colonel made his $10 Tuesday bucket so full with 8 pieces of juicy, crispy chicken or tenders that it might just last you till Wednesday, if you've got that kind of self-control. I mean, some people want leftovers. Others are more into writing hours. The Colonel lived so we could chicken. $10, 8 pieces, one big deal with KFC $10 Tuesdays.
Prices and participation may vary. Taxes, tips, and fees.
I know we're at an at-will state, but for making a comment, like, hey, your hair looks good. And then I got a call from HR saying, hey, you know what? You're under investigation. Do I have any recourse?
Were you fired?
No, not yet.
The problem, Eddie, is they can fire you for any reason they want. They literally can wake up in the morning and say, you know what? I'm a little bored this morning. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to fire Eddie for no reason. Yep, he can do that. Yeah, That's California. Yep, welcome.
Handle on the Law. If you're injured and need a lawyer, go to handleonthelaw.com.
Listen this Sunday afternoon to Handle on the Law.
I know we're at an at-will date, but for making a comment, like, hey, your hair looks good. And then I got a call from HR saying, hey, you know what? You're under investigation. Do I have any recourse?
Were you fired?
No, not yet.
The problem, Eddie, is they can fire you for any reason they want. They literally can wake up in the morning and say, you know what? I'm a little bored this morning. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to fire Eddie for no reason. Yup, he can do that. Yeah, that's California. Yep, welcome.
It's Handle on the Law this Sunday afternoon from 4 to 7 right here on WRMN. And welcome, folks, to the 12 o'clock hour here on Out to Lunch, WRMN, the voice of the valley and the talk of the town. We're broadcasting live here from Studio 14, serving you, Fox River Valley area. The show Out to Lunch is sponsored by St. Joseph Hospital in Elgin. Are you looking for expert orthopedic and spine care close to home? St. Joseph Hospital in Elgin is here for you. Their highly skilled orthopedic and spine specialists provide advanced treatments for joint, bone, and back conditions, all with a personalized approach designed to get you moving again. Whether it's hip or knee pain, sports injuries, or complex spine issues, they use the latest technology and surgical techniques to help you heal faster and get back to the activities that you love. And that's not all. Their comprehensive rehabilitation services mean that you'll have expert support every step of the way, from surgery through recovery. So trust your health to excellence. Trust St. Joseph Hospital in Elgin, a proud member of Prime Healthcare. Call them today at 847-931-5525 or visit stjosephelgin.com to learn more and to schedule your appointment. So, as always, thank you to St. Joseph Hospital of Elgin for sponsoring today's show, Out to Lunch. Thank you again to Mayor Dave Kaptain for coming into the station today at 11 o'clock. You can expect to see him twice a month here on WRMN during the 11 o'clock segment. That is the second Thursday and the fourth Thursday of every month after the second and fourth Wednesdays city council meetings. So if you want a little bit of a recap, the video will be posted shortly. You can also go and look under our live stream, and we are streaming right now live, but you can also go back into the video and find a particular spot that you're looking for. But that interview will be posted shortly as well, too. What have we recently posted onto our YouTube channel within the past 24 hours? I will let you know. We have here, of course, Sherry's Senior Moments with Sherry Aschenbrenner and her guest, Lisa Cummings of Hearthwood, Senior Living in Bartlett. So that's been posted now, too. If you want to view it, it's on our YouTube channel. We also have posted as well, and I gotta make it public. There we go. What's in Elliot's mouth? And there were a lot of different things today because it's his last one too. So that's also been posted. We had a premiere yesterday for a political talk show with David Tees taking over for those Candidate Wednesdays. That included an interview with Michael Pierce and John Zam, who Michael Pierce is running for Congress, Illinois 11th District. So if you want to check out more information on that, in the description on that video that has been posted now, you can find information on their web pages too. So if you want to look it up for yourself, we encourage you to do so. And then yesterday, I had the pleasure of having Bill Gotti, and I pronounced his last name wrong because I asked my dad, because my dad grew up with him, and I didn't know that. Bill, I said, oh, I'm interviewing William Gade. I told my dad the other day, and he goes, "Oh, okay." And then I said, "Oh, he's with Emmanuel Lutheran Church." Oh, he goes, "Oh, you mean Bill Gotti?" I'm like, "Oh, okay." I said the last name wrong. That's why. I apologize about that, Bill. But he's the director of music and worship at Emmanuel Lutheran Church in East Dundee. They bought our family property that used to be the D'Angelo Natural Water Springs Water. So they're getting that in the works of expanding on the Lutheran Church and the school area too. So that's fantastic. But very cool. Again, a small world that we live in is really something. I was talking to Sherry Ashenbrenner off the air, and I know I'm getting on a tangent now. She knew my grandpa Bill. She knew my mom. She remembered my mom from when my mom was younger because she went to St. Paul's Church growing up as a kid. Sherry did. And so she remembers my mom's side of the family when they would go to church too at now the Vineyard Church. But St. Paul's has moved, but that's where the original building is now. The Vineyard Church building here in Elgin was originally St. Paul's Lutheran Church, which my family's been going there since the 1890s in Elgin. So it's really cool to have that history there too. And even though it's not the same church, it's a different church, the building is still there, and the inside hasn't changed in a long time. So it's cool to see that too. There's a lot of cool things here in Elgin and in the Fox River Valley area that you can discover just in your backyard too. So we encourage you to go out there and check it out. Speaking of going outside, it is going to be temperatures in a high, about a high of 40 degrees. It's a little bit more overcast outside today right now, but we are going to be seeing it eventually going up to a high of about 40 to 42 degrees. It's currently 37 right now too. And then we do see it dropping down to a low of 24 degrees. It's going to be a few clouds from time to time, and that's going to be for later tonight. Heading on into Friday, we do see a high of 53. It's predicted to be mainly sunny outside. That's what we're going to be seeing for Friday the 13th. Oh boy. We see a low of 28 degrees coming up. That's for Friday night. And then coming up tomorrow too, just to kind of go off course a little bit here, we've got the life experiences with William Pellerinos tomorrow. He's going to be having special guests for the third time. She's been on here on the air. This will be a third time. This is family law attorney Debbie Cohen discussing workplace romances that lead to divorce, plus receiving an inheritance while married or separated. You'll be able to call into the show coming up at 12 o'clock tomorrow. I am looking forward to having her on the air. I know many of you are as well. She is a returning guest for her third time, and she's just a very lovely woman, and she's also she's very well educated and knows about the field too. Bill sent me a picture too of a nice photo to cap off Friday's show here too. So he was at the store, and he saw a lot of Valentine's Day stuff there too. So very, very cool. So that's coming up. That will be tomorrow at 12 o'clock. So make sure that you're tuning in for that on our AM 1410 dial or watching us on YouTube. I wore maroon today. I have the purple outfit for tomorrow, but maybe I should wear red or and I don't know. I've got an outfit that's kind of reddish pink a little bit. It's like a darker reddish pink kind of. I don't know what color. It's kind of like the color of the Good and Plenty's, you know, the candy Good and Plenty, which I hate. I still do. But that's one, that's kind of the color there. But anyway, with that being said, weather tomorrow is going to be nice and sunny, so that should be pretty good. Heading on to Saturday, we do see a high of 54, mostly cloudy skies. It is predicted to be a low of 32 degrees. That's going to be coming up. That will be for Saturday night. Heading on into Sunday. Sunday's a high of 57. It's predicted to be mainly cloudy scratch that, mainly sunny. It's going to start to clear up a bit, so that's going to be nice. It drops down to a low of 34 degrees. That will be coming up for Sunday night. And then Monday the 16th, we see a high of 61. It's predicted to be partly to mostly cloudy. It drops down to 35 as our low coming up. That's partly to mostly cloudy skies for Monday. 61 degrees is our high. That's great. I'm looking forward to it. We see a low of 35 for Monday night. Tuesday rolls around with a high of 52 and a low of 44. And we do see about a 40% chance of rain coming through. That's going to be for Tuesday night. Wednesday rolls around. We see a high of 57, cloudy with a few showers, and a low of 34 degrees is in that forecast coming up for Wednesday the 18th. That's Wednesday night. And then finally, Thursday, a week from today, we do see a high of 44, mostly cloudy in the morning, and then some periods of showers later in the day. It drops down to a low of 24. It does say rain showers, which means it's probably going to be some freezing rain coming through for Thursday night. So just be prepared for that. You can find this and more all posted. That's on weather.com. That's weather.com for more information. Now, we did speak a little bit on some road construction that we're going to start to see popping up here in Elgin around the area. Mayor Dave Kaptain to talk about it. And if you always want to keep yourself up to date with that, we always do recommend that you subscribe to their press release that we do receive anytime they do send it out. And we make sure to read it to you. Or, of course, their newsletter. Now, of course, you can also take a look at Travel Midwest and see if anything also pops up there, too, for any construction. So again, another example I like to give is the construction that's still going on near the Elgin DMV. It's been going on for quite a while here, but it is listed on there too. So I know that they are going to be doing some construction on the bridge, of course, on Kimball, right near the Gail Borden Library. That will be coming up. And I know that that is definitely going to disrupt some of that flow there too when it comes to the traffic. So that'll definitely start to show up on the page when it does. That's on Travel Midwest. And then throughout the months, we'll definitely go through and talk more about that and see what are some of the best routes that you can go through and things like that. So it'll be a little bit of an adjustment period there for many folks out there, but we'll definitely we'll be able to manage too. So just keep in tune with that. We'll keep you in tune with that. The time is 16 past the hour. We're going to take a quick time out. When we come back, we'll just go through our usuals. We've got our story of the day, our Sunny Skies feel-good story. We have a word of the day. We'll quickly also run through the National Day calendar. What do we have to recognize, celebrate, and enjoy today? And then we also do have our Tradio segment coming up at 12:30. So if you are looking to buy, sell, trade, and or announce to the Fox River Valley area, that'll be the time to call into the station at 847-931-1410 or text us at 505-926-1410. So that'll be coming up shortly there. You'll be able to listen to that. And then following that into our 1 o'clock or until the end of the show at 1 o'clock, we'll just talk more about what's happening locally in the Fox River Valley area, especially for the weekend when Valentine's Day comes up this Saturday. So stay tuned for that and more here on Out to Lunch, WRMN. And we'll be back with more in just a little bit.
Are you suffering with anxiety, depression, PTSD, an eating disorder, or even a substance abuse problem? If it's causing problems at work or with your family, get help now at Insight Mental Health and Wellness. We can help and treat all types of depression and mental issues. We'll help you use your insurance to get away from it all to a beautiful, sunny, and tranquil vacation-like environment so you can recharge yourself. And with the Family Medical Leave Act, you could take the time off you need from work. Plus, with the Affordable Care Act, your treatment could be 100% covered. If you're suffering from any kind of anxiety, depression, PTSD, eating disorder, or even a substance abuse problem, use your insurance and get away from it all. Come to sunny California. Call Insight Mental Health and Wellness now. 800-419-0287. 800-419-0287. 800-419-0287. That's 800-419-0287.
Are you a fraud-paying American? 1 in 4 tax-paying Americans have been victim of identity fraud. With LifeLock, your identity, if it's stolen, they fix it guaranteed or your money back. And last year, billions in refunds were stolen. Could be from your salary, overtime, or second job. Gone. But this year, you don't need to stay a victim. Because this tax season, fraud-paying American is something no American should have to claim. Save up to 40% off your first year with the promo code BECK. Visit LifeLock.com. Terms do apply.
Hey Bears fans, want your business heard during every heart-pounding moment of the game? WRMN 1410 is now offering in-game ad spots for Chicago Bears broadcasts. Be a part of the action as thousands of die-hard listeners tune in each week. Whether it's a touchdown, turnover, or a timeout, your message will be right there in the mix. Spots are limited and going fast. Call WRMN 1410 today at 847-741-7700 and score big with in-game advertising that delivers results. Get in the game with the Chicago Bears on WRMN AM 1410.
Real talent is defined by what people can do, not where they learn to do it. So by stopping at the education section of a resume, you might throw away the perfect hire. You might miss someone who has valuable skills to offer to help your business thrive right now and in the future. Because the truth is this: Skills First Hiring helps you see talent others miss, like more than 70 million stars, skilled through alternative routes. When you let their story unfold, you gain a competitive advantage, because hiring managers who start with skills are 60% more likely to find a successful hire. See the real person, complete. See what others miss. Hire skills first. Learn why it's a competitive advantage at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and the Ad Council.
And welcome back, folks, to Out to Lunch here on WRMN, the voice of the valley and the talk of the town. This is Matt McNeil taking you into the rest of the 12 o'clock hour here today on a lovely Thursday. It's a thirsty Thursday. What are you drinking today? Well, I've got my water. I had my coffee already this morning. I'll probably have another cup before, or maybe probably during Tammy's show, because most of the time lately, if I don't have my coffee with me and Tammy's here, she's like, well, Matt, do you have your coffee? I'm like, oh, I got to get it. She goes, you better do so. She says to me. And that's coming up later today, Talk Time with Tammy and Friends. I'll be on here, of course, running the board and joining in on the conversations there too, as always. So that'll be coming up. And of course, Talk Time with Tammy and Friends is a good way to just relax, take it easy, enjoy the day throughout the afternoon time. So that'll be coming up. So stay tuned for that. That's from 2 until 4 o'clock. What else do we have for the day today? Well, let's run through what we have before we get into our other things. We do have What's Cooking Today with Michael Horn. That's on CRN, playing on the AM 1410 dial today at the 1 o'clock hour, and that is from 1 until 2 o'clock. Now, we don't know quite yet. He hasn't posted on his website yet what he's going to be talking about, but you'll be ensured to listen into that coming up during the 1 o'clock segment. We have Talk Time with Tammy and Friends from 2 until 4. We have Big Top Sports with Derek Geyer from 4 until 6 o'clock. From 6 until 7, we do have our WRMN 10 o'clock news segment replayed there. Still fresh news coming your way even into later in the night. From 7 to 8, we have a political talk show. From 8 until 9, we've got The Voice of Reason with Andy Hoosier. And then it's late night radio on WRMN with some creepy, cool stories, some collections, some antique stories, because they're from the 30s and the 40s on that classic late night radio on WRMN. So stay tuned for that. Let's go through our inspirational story of the day today to continue on the rest of your day. This is a person that posted today saying, I posted a year ago at my absolute lowest. Today I'm in Rome meeting the stranger who helped me survive it. This is a user by the name of Maybe Potential. Exactly 1 year ago, I was sitting in my room, feeling like my world had permanently shrunk. I poured my heart out to a group of strangers online. My post blew up, and while the support was amazing, one specific private message changed everything. A girl from Italy messaged me. She wasn't just offering sorries. She was living my exact timeline, feeling my exact flavor of pain. Across a 7-hour time difference and 10,000 kilometers, since this person who posted this lives in Singapore, we started talking. At first, it was just survival, checking in to make sure the other one had eaten or stopped crying. But then the message turned into daily life. We moved from, how do I stop missing them, to look at the sunset, listen to this song. I think I'm going to be okay today. We healed through our screens. Two strangers on opposite sides of the globe, tethered together by a shared ache. When I finally decided to reclaim my life and plan a solo trip to Europe, she was my biggest cheerleader. I was nervous. What if it was awkward? What if the online relationship didn't translate to real life? But she drove 4 hours just to see me. When we finally stood face to face in Rome, there was no getting to know you phase. There was just this overwhelming sense of familiarity. We hit the streets of Rome like we had been exploring together for years. We laughed, we walked until our feet hurt, and we stood in front of monuments that felt small compared to the journey we had taken to get there. We had a moment where we looked at each other and realized the worst thing that's ever happened to us, those breakups, was actually the price of admission for this friendship. If you had asked us a year ago if we trade the relationship for this, we would have said no. Now, we both agreed we'd choose to break up every single time. To anyone lurking here tonight, we feeling like you're shouting into a void, your life is so much bigger than the person who left you. There are people you haven't met yet who are going to love you, and there are cities that you haven't yet seen that'll feel like home. Hold on, it gets so much better. And this person posted a nice picture of them together, and a very nice one. And the beautiful Rome, might I add as well, too. Very, very nice. And they definitely look like they're almost like really the best of friends. Even when I first saw that picture before reading the article, I'm like, oh, it's just two friends. So that's really, really cool story there. Lifting each other up even from a far distance away from each other. Let's see what the word is the day. Word of the day is today. It's an adjective. It's endemic. Endemic is ENDEMIC. Now, what does the word endemic mean? Well, when it's used, when used for a plant or animal species, endemic describes something that grows or exists in a certain place or area, and often specifically something restricted to a particular locality or region. Endemic is also used to describe diseases that persist over time in a particular region or population. When I saw the word endemic, I thought pandemic, right? It also can mean common in a particular area or field, right? So endemic. And then, of course, there's usually some words or maybe specific meaning in front of endemic, like pandemic, things like that too. So it's kind of relating to each other in that way. But that's the word of the day today. It's an adjective recognized on this day on February 12th. And you can find more info on it on Merriam-Webster's dictionary. And then finally, before we take our time out and we head on into our Tradio segment, we've got some national days to recognize, celebrate, and enjoy, and maybe even eat up a bit too. It is National Plum Pudding Day today. Now, this is usually something that you think of during the holidays, right? Especially during Christmas. However, it is recognized today because we get to learn a little bit about this tasty treat. We understand plum pudding is also known as a Christmas pudding, which is why some of us might think it's interesting to have it during this time, kind of confusing time to celebrate this food holiday. Well, at the National Day calendar, they don't believe that celebrating food one time of the year is the only time you can. You can also celebrate it anytime too. Now, the earliest documented record of plum pudding is found in the oldest known English cookbook, which is roughly from 1390, and it was called, quote, The Form of Curry, and form was spelled with an E at the end. The cookbook was a compilation that included different master cooks of King Richard II. Referred to as figgy or plum pottage, plum pudding wasn't even considered a dessert at the time. It was a savory broth made of beef or mutton, onions, and root vegetables. It was then thickened with breadcrumbs and mixed with dried fruits, wine, and spices. And then in 1675, a diary of a British naval chaplain was found that described food served at a Christmas dinner consisting of a rib of beef, minced pies, and plum puddings. By 1723, a plum pudding recipe appeared in John Knott's The Cook's and Confectioner's Dictionary. The recipe is almost identical to what we see today. There's a little bit of an interesting history there too. Plum pudding. I've never had it before, but maybe if you have, maybe it's delicious. I mean, if you've had it before, maybe you've liked it, maybe you haven't. Maybe it's not everyone's cup of tea or dish of choice, cup of pudding as a plum pudding, but it does look pretty tasty if I do say so myself when you actually take a look at it. There's a couple other national days that you can also recognize too. It is Darwin Day today. It's Fat Thursday, Feast of St. Vartan. It's also Georgia Day and Giving Hearts Day. And if you need a hug, it's also National Hug Day today. And Punchkis. That's coming up, folks. The Punchkis. Delicious treat to enjoy from Poland. Stay tuned for more. Up next, we've got our Tradio segment here on Out to Lunch, WRMN AM 1410.
With your news flash, I'm Ryan Gatenby, brought to you by Rain-X. A new Moody's Analytics report says Illinois' economy is expected to underperform both the Midwest and the nation in the coming year. The forecast projects flat job growth and slower gains in state product and income, citing pension debt and a shrinking tax base. Illinois lawmakers have introduced the Power Act, which would require large data centers to cover their own energy costs. The proposal aims to protect consumers from higher utility bills and require operators to disclose water usage while adding environmental safeguards for communities. A federal judge has upheld an Illinois law banning interchange fees on the tax and tip portions of credit and debit card transactions. Retail leaders say the ruling will save businesses and consumers millions each year. Banking groups that challenge the law say they plan to appeal. I'm Ryan Gatenby with your news flash.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
If you're only good to your new friends, you're not going to have any old ones. Straight Talk gets it. That's why new and existing customers get free 5G phones on Verizon's 5G network. Pretty simple, really. You keep good people by being good people.
Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Taxes and fees apply. Plan purchase required for free phone offers. Copyright 2026 Verizon.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. After my husband died, the last thing I wanted to think about was money. Ethos made it affordable to get life insurance. Signing up was fast and 100% online. I knew that I could pay our mortgage and have food in the fridge. I could focus on my kids. No one ever tells you how much you're going to depend on that policy. I am so grateful we had coverage.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/save. That's ethos.com/save. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
I'm Danielle Penman, a registered nurse, conservative Republican, and longtime resident of St. Charles running for state senator. I'm focused on cutting taxes, supporting law enforcement, and holding Springfield accountable. Because Illinois families deserve better.
Paid for by Friends for Danielle Penman.
Building a house is hard, but have you tried removing one? Flood Brothers takes the mess out of demolition. With fast roll-off dumpster delivery, reliable debris pickup, and a family-owned team that takes service personally. Call 630-261-0400 or visit floodbrothersdisposal.com. Flood Brothers Disposal, proud sponsor of America's First Responders Fest.
This is Sarah Silver with your Fox Valley forecast, brought to you by Chick-fil-A. This afternoon, partly sunny with a high near 42. Tonight, mostly clear with a low around 26. Looking ahead to Friday, sunny with a high near 50. Saturday brings partly sunny skies with a high near 53. Currently, it's 39 and overcast. I'm Sarah Silver on the Talk of the Town, WRMN.
You're still grooving, still connecting, still loving, still turning up, still thriving. You still got it, but your immune system, it weakens as you age. That's where vaccines come in. They help train and strengthen your immune response to fight off respiratory illnesses like flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, or COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Book in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
And welcome back, folks, to Out to Lunch here on WRMN, the voice of the Valley and the talk of the town, broadcasting live here from Studio 14, serving you, the Fox River Valley area. Thank you, everyone, of course, for tuning in today. We hope that you have been enjoying this afternoon and pretty much the whole day here, too. We're going to go into our Tradio segment here. So if you are looking to buy, sell, trade, and or announce to the Fox River Valley area, that'll be the time to call into the studio number here at 847-931-1410. That's 847-931-1410. If it's got to go, post it here on Tradio. Feel free to let us know. We've got some good things coming up here too, and we'll talk about who has recently called in within the past couple of weeks or so that you know who to reach out to. And this is a great time to also call in if you're looking for anything in particular. You've got something in your attic or basement that you're not using anymore. Maybe you just want to get rid of it. You want to sell it. Maybe you're looking to make a little extra money. So those are some different ways that you can do so. Also, that does remind me too, there is a gold buying event that's coming up here. I got a notice for it in Elgin. Let me see if I can find it. It's a roadshow event, I do believe. Let me see. Oh my goodness, and I'm not going to be able to, I'm going to have to look and see specifically what it was. But I got it in the mail the other day. Oh my goodness, it's coming up this weekend and they buy gold, and I do believe it is in Elgin, I think. I'll have to double check and see. But it's like an event that's coming. If any of you folks out there know what I'm talking about, if you got it in the mail, I should have brought it in today. Darn, and I didn't. But there's like a gold buying event. I think it's in Elgin, I do believe. I want to say. I'll have to double check just to make sure, but I'm pretty sure it is. That just it popped into my brain. I remember seeing that. But let's go through our Tradio segment. Who recently has called in here? We have a Tradio caller. Has lots of furniture for sale located in Hampshire. Everything is like new, and she'll take offers pretty much on anything and everything. For example, she's got 2 sofas, she's got a dining room table, and so much more. TV, appliances, washer and dryer. You can call and tell her who you are first. Just make sure you do so. And then she does have 2 numbers to call to. That's 847-502-4612. Again, that's 847-502-4612. Is that number to dial, and that's her cell phone number. And then she also does have her landline too, which is 847-695-9881. Again, that's 847-695-9881. And so that's the number to dial there. So again, lots of furniture for sale in Hampshire. Everything is like new, and she'll take any offers on that too. We have another Tradio caller. Greg is looking for bicycles, late 1800s to the 1970s, parts, pieces, and/or accessories, and they can really be in any condition. He's also looking for vintage Omega watches, men's and women's watches, and also diver-style watches. He's a collector, not a dealer, so he'll pay a fair price on those too. He's also looking for old gas tether cars, which are old toy cars from the 50s and the 60s. They had little tiny gas engines on them. Some of them were made by the Cox Corporation. So anything like that he's interested in. He's also looking for old racing go-karts, vintage racing go-karts, parts and pieces and accessories from the 50s and the 60s. And then he's also looking to add some extra pieces for a Schuco Disney monorail toy. Not the plastic ones, the vintage ones. They're in good condition. He does have a son that's also looking for some Pokemon cards. So if anyone out there has any trading Pokemon cards too, you can reach out that way. Also has a Schwinn 312 Goose Island bicycle. It runs good for $99 for it. Also has a Hamilton Beach 3-head milkshake maker. It's in the color ivory. It comes with 3 cups as well for $425 on that one. And then he's also selling 1 Lionel Pioneer Zephyr. They're about 4 feet long, in excellent condition, and they're unique pieces too. They have the shiny chrome on them. He also has a Bailey blue hat for sale, and it does come with the box also. So if you want to reach out to him for more information on that, that number to dial is 847-962-6033. That's 847-962-6033. That's the number to dial. And then another Tradio caller here has a car for sale, a 2009 Toyota Corolla. It's a Model S, 5-speed manual transmission. It's in great condition. The asking price is $5,000 or best offer on this, located in Elmhurst. You can reach out to this person for more information on this car for sale. That number to dial is 312-296-4223. That's 312-296-4223. 844-938-8223. Again, that's the number to dial. So feel free to reach out to him for more information. And then finally, a last radio caller that we have here, Gary's looking for a typewriter from the 30s to the 50s in the color black. It's a portable one with a case, and you can reach out to him for more information. That's 847-372-8083. That's 847-372-8083. That's the number to dial. And again, he's looking for a typewriter that's from the 30s to the 50s in the color black, a portable one with a case. So sounds pretty nice. So if you do want to reach out to him for more information, please feel free to do so. And you can call in now, too. We've got our Tradio segment that's happening right now. So feel free to reach out to us today, 847-931-1410. Or you can also text us at 505-926-1410 is that number to dial. You are listening to Out to Lunch, which is sponsored by St. Joseph Hospital in Elgin. Get back to doing what you love with expert orthopedic and spine care at St. Joseph Hospital in Elgin. From advanced surgery to personalized rehab, their specialists are with you throughout your care journey. St. Joseph Hospital is a proud member of Prime Healthcare, and they're here to keep you moving. So schedule your appointment today by calling 847-931-5525 or visit stjosephelgin.com to learn more information. So check them out on their website for more info. That is, again, stjosephelgin.com. I also do like to mention here, too, they do have their ER wait time, which is live wait time. So if you are needing to go into the emergency room, there is that wait time estimated right now at about 27 minutes, roughly 30 minutes or so. So that's been posted onto their on their page. I wanted to remind you again, too, of course, you can take a look at what the entire agenda was for the Committee of the Whole meeting agenda for the City Council meeting that happened yesterday. Of course, that video will be posted shortly with the Mayor, Dave Kaptain. You'll be able to find that on our YouTube channel. We'll also make sure to make a post on that, too. But you can watch that as well, too. They do have a link directly to it right from their website. It's 2 hours and 3 minutes. So you can skip through and see specifically what are those particular chapters. Now, those chapters will be listed on their website. If you're watching now on YouTube, you can see them. So if you want to skip ahead and you want to take a look at the Tall Oaks Unit 3 subdivision public improvements, you click on it and it takes you directly to that particular frame of when that is. So that's really, really helpful, especially if you want to skip through some of the things in the meetings. I think all of it's important, of course, but if you are really looking for something in particular, you can find that. You can scroll through. If you want to check out George Rawlinson's proclamation, that is also available too. It's at the 1 hour and 46 minute mark, and it'll take you directly to it, which is really nice. And of course, there's, if you're watching on the screen now, there's Steve Thorin now too, talking a little bit about it there. So very, very nice. And if you want to watch that for yourself, you can. So those chapters are really, really good to take a look at that too. It just goes through everything. So it's really convenient to look through that as well. I do recommend that you do that. It's a very nice one, proclamation there too. So definitely check it out. Very nice. And then also here too, we have the Celebration of Life for George Rawlinson. Don't forget that's coming up on the 18th of February. So please feel free. We'd love to see you out at the event. I'm going to be there. The whole WRMN family is going to be there too in celebration of George and all he's done for the community. And so it's going to be sad, of course, but it's also going to be joyful in the fact that we get to share those stories of how who George was and the amazing man he was in the community as well too. So it's going to be a good time of fellowship with folks. The time is approaching 45 past the hour very soon here. So we're going to take another quick time out. And then when we come back, we'll just continue on talking more what's happening locally here in the Fox River Valley area. So stay tuned for that. We've got lots of great things coming up your way. And you can check out more on our website, WRMN1410.com. Or also check us out on YouTube, youtube.com/WRMN radio. So stay tuned for that. That'll be coming up shortly in just a bit. And we'll take our quick time out now and we'll be back with more here in just a little while. Are you dreaming of a getaway? Want to leave the stress of daily life behind? Whether it's a relaxing cruise or an adventurous land escape, planning the perfect vacation doesn't have to be a hassle. At Cruises International, they specialize in vacation destinations, Land and Sea, making your dreams come true. Located at 1721 Moon Lake Boulevard in Hoffman Estates, Cruises International isn't just about booking travel. They're your personal concierge, trusted travel advisor, and advocate. Your preferences are unique, and they'll take the time to understand exactly what you're looking for. From personalized service to their global network of specialists, they ensure that your vacation is tailor-made just for you. It's time to plan the vacation of a lifetime. Call 800-255-7447. That's 800-255-7447 today and speak to a cruise and vacation expert. Cruises International. It's time to set sail to your dream destination.
My mom has taken up going to the park to practice yoga.
My dad's going to a club, but not a book club, a salsa club.
Finding new hobbies comes with age.
My mom has started getting lost and not knowing where she's going.
Becoming lost or disoriented doesn't. Confusion with time or place may be a sign of Alzheimer's. An early diagnosis can help improve the quality of life for your loved one. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Does your car need a shine? At Britain's Touchless Car Wash, they make it quick, easy, and spotless every time. And they're open 24/7 for your convenience. Right now, get a free car wash just for joining their text club. Text BRITT to 30400 and enjoy a free car wash. Visit Britain's Touchless Car Wash at 1923 Larkin Avenue in Elgin or at 555 Willow in West Dundee. Britain's, caring for your car while caring for our community.
If your idea of therapy involves a fishing rod, a tree stand, or a campfire, then you need American Outdoors Radio. Host John Cruz speaks your language, whether it's about the best lures, tracking game, or that one buddy who always forgets to bring the beer. John's got the tips to sharpen your aim, the hacks to pack lighter, and the stories to keep you entertained. Again, that's American Outdoor Radio with John Cruz. Saturdays at 7 a.m. on WRMN 1410. Or stream it at WRMN1410.com. Get ready to outfish, outhunt, and outcamp 'em all on American Outdoor Radio with John Cruz.
Welcome to downtown Elgin, where businesses, community, and creativity come together. The Downtown Neighborhood Association provides valuable, complimentary services to all downtown businesses, organizations, property owners, and residents, helping you gain exposure and thrive. Whether you're already part of the district or exploring a new downtown location, DNA is here to help your vision grow. Join us in creating a vibrant, connected, and successful downtown Elgin. Call now 847-488-1456, or you can email info@downtownelgin.com. Ask for Jennifer Facala. Downtown Neighborhood Association, where the heart of business beats strong.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Before the weather gets too cold, it's time to finish up those outdoor jobs. That's why ComEd wants you to know that electricity can jump from a power line to you and to the tools you're using. So maintain a safe distance from any power lines. You can also call ComEd at 1-800-EDISON-1 to have those power lines de-energized the next time you do any work around them. Stay smart, stay safe, stay back. ComEd, powering lives.
And welcome back, folks, to Out to Lunch here on WRMN. We still have about roughly 8 minutes left here or so. So with that being said, in the time remaining, let's hop on and talk a bit more about what's happening locally in your local community here in Elgin and around the Elgin area. Now, this is something I was going to mention a little bit yesterday, but I didn't have time, so I want to talk about it today. This is a Log 250 Miles for America's 250th. This is an event, an ongoing event that's starting. It started on February 9th, and it's going to continue on until December 31st. So if you do want to check it out, this is available to learn a little bit more about it at exploreelginarea.com. This is the National Water Trail through Kane County. Now, you can celebrate America's 250th birthday by exploring one of the Midwest's most beautiful natural treasures, the fabulous fox. The National Water Trail through Kane County event is happening now, and really what it is you can just go yourself, check it out. You're invited to hike, bike, run, walk, roll, or paddle your way through 75, 125, or 250 trail miles as part of this once-in-a-generation event. Every mile you move becomes a part of a nationwide celebration of adventure, wellness, and American history. So really what it is just inviting people to check out these different places to go to out in nature. When it comes to hiking, biking, running trails, paddling events coming up. So check out in your local area along the Fox River, because there's some cool events and different walks that you can check out to celebrate nature and to celebrate 250 years here. That's fantastic. So definitely check that out. That's been posted, and that is on exploreelginarea.com. That's exploreelginarea.com for more information. Don't forget also here too, still going on, and this is on display. It is an original, I guess you could say, carriage of the Elgin Sanitary Milk Company. That's really, really cool. They used to sell butter and buttermilk and all that good stuff. It was originally on the Old Ludwood property that was at 200 Spring Street. So there's some rich history there too. And this is celebrating 250 years of Elgin. Now, Elgin hasn't been around for 250 years, the actual city, but of course the land has been, and for many as well, longer as well. But that's presented by the Elgin Area Chambers Enhancing Elgin Committee, the City of Elgin, and the Elgin History Museum, and the Elgin Public Museum too. So all working together to make sure that you know some really cool history. And there's a lot of rich history in Elgin too that I recommend checking out. And you can find all of that. That is at the Elgin History Museum at 360 Park Street. They say recommended donation as well to get in. I think it's $5. Recommended donation. They've got books and DVDs. They've got jewelry. They've got artwork. They've got things for the home, all those cool things. And if you want to check out some of the beautiful Elgin jewelry that includes a lot of their Elgin watches, they do have some of those for sale in their shop as well. So that's pretty cool. They do also offer donations. So if you have any pictures of Elgin from the old days, and hopefully you've got some names on the back, but maybe you're an inheritor of some family things and you just don't have the space for it. This is ensuring that it's going to a secure place, the Elgin History Museum. It's stored properly. I've seen how they stored it before. I've been on the third floor before doing some family research, and they store everything properly. They handle everything with gloves as well. They make you wear gloves too when handling some of the pictures. So everything is ensured that it's preserved properly. They're in good hands. So if you're like, I don't want this to go in the trash, but I just can't keep it, donate it, especially if it's an Elgin artifact or a photograph, donate it to the Elgin History Museum. They are going to preserve it very, very well. They document it. They put it in through their local files that are physical copies, and then also digital copies too. So you can request to look up specific things. They have everything in alphabetical order as well too. You can even search on who specifically donated it as well, which is pretty cool. So that's all at the Elgin History Museum. You can check it out at elginhistory.org. What are some other things coming up here? Well, with the remainder of the time, we want to tell you what's happening around the area, especially for Valentine's Day. Now, coming up tonight, this is going to be at 4 o'clock. This is at the Vintage Hammer in Hampshire. There is going to be a spectacular Galentine's Day wine tasting event. Now, this is where you can bring your besties, or maybe you're rolling solo. Doesn't have to matter there, too. Their Galentine's wine tasting is the perfect excuse to get out on a thirsty Thursday. This is at their Hampshire location on February 12th tonight from 4 to 7. You can sip your way through their favorite bottles. And what's great, too, is, of course, you get to explore all of the really cool home good items that they have available. A lot of them are repurposed items, vintage and antique items that have been repurposed, given a new life that you can, of course, pass down as well, too, to generations and enjoy it even just for a little bit of a short time, too. So come for the wine, stay for the shopping, and enjoy a relaxed evening with them. That's at 122 Washington Avenue, located in Hampshire. So check it out. If you want to get a little bit fancy, of course, you can have some delicious macaroons and some wine. That's a pairing that's happening tonight at 6 p.m. at the Eastside Cafe on Barrington Avenue in East Dundee. You can, of course, enjoy those delicious macaroons brought to you by the Sugar Bloom Baking Company. You can indulge your senses at their exclusive wine and macaroon pairing extravaganza. You can check out more information posted on their social media pages or also on exploreelginarea.com. Also tonight at 7 o'clock at Side Street Studio Arts around the corner, there's Crazy Stupid Love Improvise. It's a rom-com. It's every second Thursday. They have their improv, but this one is a Valentine's Day themed. This is a Memoriam Development. Will be presenting Crazy Stupid Love and their signature improvised rom-com. And they are sure the show will be full of love, smiles, and a very lonely best friend. That's one of the characters. So maybe you can, I don't know. It just sounds like a fun, a fun show to go to if you want to check it out. So feel free to do so. And of course, there are a lot of other really great fun activities that you can go to. There is the Love Me Tender Valentine's Day Dinner with Elvis at Villa Olivia. That's tomorrow from 6 to 8:30. It's $140 per couple or $75 per person. You get a great course meal, multiple, including 3-course dinner, signature cocktails, and live Elvis entertainment. So it's a pretty sweet night, if I do have to say so myself. And of course, there's many others that are coming up too. We'll talk about those coming up tomorrow on Out to Lunch. So stay tuned for that. Up next, we have What's Cooking Today with Michael Horn. We've got Talk Time with Tammy and Friends. We've got Big Top Sports, 10 o'clock news replay for the 6 to 7 o'clock segment, a political talk show, and the Voice of Reason. You can check out more on our lineup on what we have to offer on our website. That's WRMN1410.com. As always, thank you everyone for tuning in today and being a part of the conversation with us. We always do greatly appreciate everyone's participation. Thank you once again to Mayor Dave Kaptain for coming into the station today to talk with us about the recap of the City Council meetings, which will be, of course, back again here in the station during the 11 o'clock hours every second Thursday and fourth Thursday of the month. See you around. I'll be back.